I've been thinking about this thing for a while. If you remember this, I found this in the surrounding woods around my house. It's an old truck muffler, and it's pretty cool, and I wanted to do something with it. So it's got 2-inch pipe, and I got a 1-inch elbow, some 1-inch pipe. I got a couple empty. I don't know. What do you think I'm gonna do? I don't know. What do you think? Oh, it's windy outside. Woo, baby. Making a mess of the yard I just cut. The grass and lawn and everything I just got cut. Anyway, who cares? Whatever. It is what it is. So, oh boy. Oh boy. I don't even know why I'm starting this now. I've got 100 other things I should be doing, but for some reason I feel the need to play with a little steel, maybe get the welder out, and yeah. So let me mess around a little bit here and let's see what we can come up with. I really don't have a plan for this necessarily, but I do have a couple ideas, so let's see what we can come up with. Okay, let's see where we are. I finally got a chance to get back on this thing, and I cut the bottoms of these nondescript containers. I won't tell you what they are. I'm not telling you how to cut them open because I'm not going to be responsible for you blowing your fingers off. But these little metal cylinders, I got the holes drilled. I pounded in a 1-inch pipe in the bottom. Okay, I fly cut this hole slightly smaller because I want a real tight seal on here. Right, and then this is I'm gonna knock it in farther, of course. But what I want to do for added support, because if I just weld it around the base here, I don't think this metal is really thick enough to withstand the torque that's going to be on this thing when I've got 2 cans like that sitting on it. So I took the bottom of this black can, knocked a hole in the center of it. I did the same thing here where I knocked the hole a little smaller so it flares up, and I'm going to slide it over the pipe like this. All the way down here. I'll show you that. I'm going to do that now, but I want to show you before all these components get put together. And that'll I'm going to solder. I'm going to weld this to the end of this pipe, and then this will be a secondary support to keep this. So, and then on this guy here, I took a wire brush to it and I cleaned out all the little fins. So this is going to go through here. Now this, I've got to do some repair work here because when I was cutting the size of this hole, it went into this little pressure relief nub in here for whatever these are for, these nondescript cylinders. Oops. You know what I mean? I don't know what these are from, but so this will fit in like this. Okay, nice and tight around here. I'm going to TIG weld that shut, of course. And I'm going to use the TIG welder on this. I know that's overkill, but it's kind of cool because I can, right? So this is the part that'll be exposed. I'm going to use the old muffler clamp to slide over here, and I'm obviously going to get a new bolt because this one's gone, but I'm going to use this to house the flapper. I gotta have a rain flapper on this bad boy. So that'll sit like that. I'm going to pinch this end closed so the exhaust is going to come in, and then this is going to sit like this, and then I'm going to butt weld this together. I'm going to TIG weld these two nondescript containers together. So the exhaust is going to come up through the center. It's going to be, this will be closed, right? So it's coming up the center. It's going to be forced to the outside of this larger 2 1/4 inch pipe. I think it's 2 1/4. I got a tape measure on here somewhere. It doesn't matter. I'll measure it later. And it's going to have to come back in through the louvers and then out through the long pipe. The long pipe. I'm looking for a bit of muffling. I don't want to run just a straight pipe because it makes my head vibrate after being on this thing for a while. But I want something nice and throaty. So I'm looking forward to that. It should be fun. I'll have that much stack exposed. This should be fun. So I'm going to assemble it now that you know what the guts look like, and we'll get her assembled. I'll show you how she goes. Alright, I don't even know if this is going to work or not, but making sure this was level, right? I put this in the vise to where the pipe was level and plumb, and then I made sure the can was on there. And then I came in with the MIG And let me see if I can get in there and you can see that. You may not be. Where are we? You can't see that. It doesn't matter. I came in through the face and I welded it in 6 spots on the inside of the can. And then I'm going to come in with a TIG welder and I'm going to run a bead on the outside here with the TIG. And metal's pretty thin. You can see where it heated. Yeah, this will be interesting. It'll be an interesting TIG welding project because this stuff's pretty thin. But it should work well for a muffler. I mean, it's strong enough. I think it'll work fine for a muffler. I don't know. Let's just keep on keeping on. Yeah. So let's take a quick look here at what I've done before I weld these two halves together. I showed you the bottom half. I was pretty careful to make sure the can lined up with the pipe. I have the bottom of this one. Remember, I inverted it, stuck it in there, a couple tack welds. This is going to be the top half of it. This is 1 7/8". This isn't any bigger than that. And I'll put all this through the bead blaster before I paint it. But I pinched the end, a little dab of weld on there. I welded a secondary little brace there to keep this straight. I'm also going to weld it around here, but that should be plenty on this thing. It holds it in there nice and snug. So I don't know, this may be totally stupid. I may be totally on glue with this one. But I'm going to put the halves together, and that's what the muffler's going to look like. I think you guys get a good view of that. Yeah? Yeah, mostly. 1 inch in, 1 7/8" out. So there won't be much back pressure, but maybe it'll kind of. Hold on, let me back things up here a little bit. There it is. 1 inch pipe in, 1 7/8" exhaust pipe out with the flap. Yeah. All right, let me fire up the TIG welder and let's see how ugly I can make this thing look. So a little time with the TIG welder, little time with the flapper wheel, and that's what we end up with. The welds came out pretty decent. I burned through little bitty burn throughs here or there because this stuff's kind of thin and I get impatient with the heat. This is where I had this section in a little piece. That's where the old relief valve was. I don't know. Kind of see light through it. I think I'm going to use the base off this blue one. I'm going to cut this circular piece out. That's the perfect size for the flapper. That'd be kind of fun. Use the old muffler clamp. I already cut the bolt out of it. And then like that. I don't know. I gotta go though for right now. I'll mess with this again maybe tomorrow. See how she goes. Boy, that's an awful lot of stuff going on in the background there, isn't it? Let me do this. TIG welding all this together. I'm really pretty happy how it's come out to this point. I'm going to be working on the flapper today. I've got about, I don't know, about an hour and a half. I really should be inside working on bids. However, this is therapeutic for me. This is enjoyable for me to get in here and build stuff. It's been a while since I've had the opportunity to get out here in the shop and actually do stuff. I have to clean out my truck to start that kitchen job I've got. Kitchen remodel I'm starting tomorrow. Anyhow, I'm working on the flapper, the rain flapper, and I built 3 other rain flappers in the past, and they all are different. This will be my 4th for small engine exhaust because I think flappers are kind of fun. They're just fun on little exhaust pipes. So they're all a little different because, well, you know, you can go to the store and buy them, or you can just kind of use what you have around and use your brain and create and come up with something that works. And so far all of my little flappers have worked out pretty well. But in the essence of keeping this kind of cool, at least in my mind it's cool, I'm using the bottom off of this blue tank. Now I'm not saying these are propane cylinders, 1 pound propane cylinders, but let's say if we had a propane cylinder that looked like this, except that we're blue, here's the bottom, right? You see you got this little dingy-deer here. Well, as it turns out, so anyway, so I took a pair of tin snips and I cut around here. I left a little bit of tab here so I have something to weld to. And this thing's neat. It's got a little bit of concave to it. I don't know if you could, how well you can see that, but it has a bit of a concave to keep the water from going in. And that's it's going to be the flapper. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. All right, I'm going to get a little more fashion into this. A little more fashion, and let's see. I like that little curve. Take a file to that, get these little edges out. I think I'm going to, I don't know what I'm going to do yet. First time. Let's see.